Good day, students. I hope you are behaving for the sub. Today we're going to cover equilibrium of supply and demand and disequilibriums called surplus and shortage. Hopefully you have your laptop and can do all the notes on it. If not, then you need to get the paper copy from the sub and work with someone who has their laptop. Pause here if you need to download. Go to Unit 3, Markets, Equilibrium, Shortage and Surplus, Equilibrium Notes, or if you need to pick up the notes from the sub. Equilibrium is drawn or shown by the intersection of supply and demand in lines like this. Draw this example on your first graph on your space of your notes. If you're using your laptop for the notes, go to Insert in the top left corner, then click on the shapes and pick the line. Draw both lines intersecting. Pause here if you need to. Next, we're going to fill in the blanks on your notes. I'll highlight the words you need to insert into your notes. Now that you've drawn equilibrium, let's go over the meaning. Equilibrium in a competitive market is when the quantity demanded of a good equals the quantity supplied of a good. This is the intersection point right here. This price and this quantity. Okay. The price at which this takes place is called the equilibrium price, also known as the market clearing price, because every buyer finds a seller and vice versa. So that means that every buyer who is on this demand line and every supplier who is on the supply line meet in the middle, and everyone has a number of goods that they want at the price that they want to pay. The quantity of the good bought and sold at this price is called the equilibrium quantity. And normally this is marked with an E. So make sure you've labeled your graph, make sure you filled in the blanks for this, and we will go on to the next slide. So this is what it also looks like if you draw the supply and demand lines as curves. Again, it's the same idea. At this equilibrium price of $1, this equilibrium quantity of 10 pounds is requested, bought. This is the point E of equilibrium. Okay. This is just another way to draw the curve. If you want to make this in your notes, you can off to the side. You do not have to. Next, we're talking about surplus. Take this time to draw a surplus graph. Make sure to draw the equilibrium and show the surplus is at a price higher or above equilibrium. Also make sure that you draw not only the price line, but the two quantity lines for surplus. Pause here if you need. Okay, now for your notes. There is a surplus of a good when the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded. Surpluses occur when the price is above the equilibrium level. Surpluses typically occur when the government interferes in the market. Setting the price for the good or service higher than the market price. They do this so that some producers can earn a profit. Examples include farm prices for things like milk or corn. The government sets these prices so that farmers can earn a profit off their crops. Normally, corn and milk prices would be much lower than they are today if the market was in complete control, but the government interferes and sets the price so that milk farmers or dairy farmers and corn farmers can make a profit off of their crops. So on this graph, you'll see that the surplus price has been set at 50 cents above $1, so $1.50. You can tell that the quantity supplied exceeds the quantity demanded because when you go to the quantity lines off of the two lines, you see supply is over here at 11.2, whereas the quantity demanded is at 8.1. So right here, they have a 3.1 gap between these two numbers, so that is a surplus. There's more supply than there is demand. Anytime price is above equilibrium, you will have a surplus. Finally, we're going to talk about shortage. A shortage is not having enough of something for everyone in the market to have what they need or want. Again, you need to take a moment to draw the shortage graph. Note that the shortage price is below equilibrium. Any price below equilibrium will result in a shortage. So, there's a shortage of a good when the quantity demanded exceeds the quantity supplied. Shortages occur when the price is below its equilibrium level. Again, this happens because the government steps in and sets a lower than market price for the good or service. Typically, they do this so that those who can't afford the good or service at market price can afford it at the lower price. However, this takes away the incentive suppliers have to produce the good or service. Historically, this has been used in housing in large cities. Thanks for listening. Fill out your notes. Have a good day.